Isak tangis keluarga, hancurnya kota dialami masyarakat Palestina. Mari bersama membasuh luka mereka. Isak tangis keluarga, hancurnya kota dialami masyarakat Palestina. Mari bersama membasuh luka mereka. Isak tangis keluarga, hancurnya kota dialami masyarakat Palestina. Mari bersama membasuh luka mereka. Isak tangis keluarga, hancurnya kota dialami masyarakat Palestina. Mari bersama membasuh luka mereka.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil karim wa ba'd. And a very good evening in Jakarta, good day or good afternoon in Bosnia and also in Nigeria. His Excellency Dr. Zainul Bahar Nur, Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum, His Excellency Deputy Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum, Dr. Elnur Salihovic, and Sheikh Muhammad Lawal Maidoki, and also the head of World Zakat Forum Research and Development, Dr. Muhammad Hasbi Zainal, and also the representative of the World Zakat Forum Youth, Brother Naim Mazlan, the honorable journalists, domestic and foreign journalists, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, I would like to express my gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of His mercy, we can gather here in order to attend this press conference session in which the World Zakat Forum, which has currently 40 member countries throughout the globe, would be explaining its position towards the situation that takes place in our Palestine land at the moment. As we already know that before the Eid al-Fitr prayer, there was an attack from the Israelis soldiers towards the prayers at the Masjid al-Aqsa. And then it was followed by a series of aggressions that have created a huge number of casualties, as we already know. And as part of the Zakat movement, of course, it is our duty, to extend our assistance to help our brothers and sisters in Palestine. So in this regard, what will be the role that will be played by the World Zakat Forum? Inshallah, this will be explained further by His Excellency Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum. But before we listen to the statement of the World Zakat Forum, let us begin our press conference session by reciting Al-Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And I'm Irfan Shauki Beg, Executive Secretary of the World Zakat Forum, that will be moderating this press conference sessions. And for the next agenda, I would like to call Dr. Elnur Salihovic to recite the press statement of the World Zakat Forum toward the issue of Palestine. To Dr. Elnur Salihovic, the stage and screen are yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Irfan, and salam to all participants in this press conference. The statement of the World Zakat Forum on the Israelis' attack, violence and oppression of human rights to the prayers at the Islamic Holy Mosque of Masjid al-Aqsa and to Palestine. The repeat brutality, attack, violence and oppression of human rights by the Israeli government in the occupied country of Palestine, particularly in the Gaza Strip and East Jerusalem, which has caused many sufferings, killed women and children, destroyed homes and public facilities, is condemnable and must be put to an end. Israel has been violating the international law, humanitarian and human rights law towards Palestinians in the occupied country of Palestine. The recent ongoing attacks by Israelis since the end of Ramadan has killed more than 212 people, including 61 children, 36 women, and 16 elderlies. Israel's attack on Palestinians during the Eid al-Fitr not only violates international human rights, but also destroys religious harmony worldwide that is unforgivable. The World Zakat Forum call upon all parties, and in particular the United Nations, the United Nations Security Council, the OIC countries, the World Zakat Forum member countries, to stand together condemning the massacre of Palestinians by Israelis. The World Zakat Forum calls upon the realization of zakat, infaq, waqf, sadaqah, and other types of donation to rebuild Palestine. Zakat, infaq, waqf, and sadaqah have been our powerful sources of income in supporting our community development. As our Palestinian brothers and sisters are suffering, financial support is now essential to at least help our Palestinian brothers and sisters in the short-term period. Thus, the World Zakat Forum calls for all nations across the globe to take action to this brutality and urge for all nations to provide aid from zakat, infaq, waqf, sadaqah, and other types of donations to be distributed to Palestine in particular. In particular, the World Zakat Forum states the following: strongly condemns all measures aiming at altering the demographic composition, character, status of Palestine since 1967, the construction and expansion of settlements, confiscations of land, demolition of homes, and displays of Palestinian civilians as acts of violation of humanitarian law. Strongly condemns all acts of violence against civilians, including acts of terror, not only limited to the Masjid al-Aqsa prayers, but also against civilians, ethnic cleansing, provocation, incitement, and destruction. Calls upon all member states to take immediate action against all acts of provocation and destruction, to de-escalate the situation and to uphold international law and order. Urges in this regard the intensification and acceleration of international and regional diplomatic efforts and support aiming at achieving without delay a comprehensive, just and lasting peace for the people of Palestine. Confirms its determination to support the country of Palestine throughout negotiations and diplomatic approaches in means to end the tyranny of Israel and restore peace in the interest of humanitarian law and order. Reaffirms its determination in the full implementation of relevant resolutions, including distribution of funds and aid towards the country of Palestine. Calls upon all member states to organize and prioritize the distribution of zakat and other Islamic social funds to the country of Palestine. Urge the United Nations Security Council to immediately adopt statement on Israel-Palestine issue and take necessary steps to end the Israelis' aggression. The World Zakat Forum, Jakarta, 19 May 2021, signed by Secretary General Dr. Zainul Bahar Noor, Deputy Secretary General Sheikh Zakaria Osman, Deputy Secretary General Dr. Muhammad Ayyub Mia, Deputy Secretary General Dr. Saleh Ali Al-Awaji, Deputy Secretary General Dr. Elnur Salihovic, Deputy Secretary General Sheikh Muhammad Lawal Maidoki, Deputy Secretary General Madame Yasmina Frank, and Executive Secretary Dr. Irfan Shevki Beik. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elnur Salihovic. Now we are going to listen to the to the remarks that will be delivered by His Excellency Dr. Zainul Bahar Noor. To Dr. Zainul Bahar Noor, the stage and screen are yours.
Thank you, Brother Irfan, the Secretary of World Zakat Forum. I should say good evening and maybe good morning, maybe good day for some participants of the Deputy Secretary Generals who are present now. The Honorable Deputy Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum, the Honorable Executive Secretary of World Zakat Forum, Brother Dr. Irfan Sokibek, and the distinguished honorable journalist friends, international and national journalists who are present in this press conference. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Allahumma salli Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. First of all, I have to say my appreciation and my happiness for this opportunity that we be present together in a very important press conference relating to the Israelis' condemnation from us and Israel's attack to the Palestine. Dear brothers and sisters, that we do have this press conference on that Israel attack on Palestine. So I would like to express my gratitude towards the World Zakat Forum Secretariat for swiftly organizing this event in response to the terrors happening in Palestine. My brothers and sisters, this repeated brutality, attack, violence, and operations of human rights by Israel government in the occupied Palestinian territory has caused many sufferings, killed countless numbers of innocent women and children, destroyed homes and public facilities. This must be condemned, and this kind of condemnable action and must be stopped. Israel has been violating the international law, humanitarian and human rights law towards Palestinians. In the occupied Palestinian territory, this recent ongoing attacks by Israelis since the end of Ramadan has killed more than 212 people. Recently, Israeli settlers have forced Palestinians in Sheikh Jarrah to move out of their homes. The world should not turn a blind eye towards this alarming situation. These are clear acts of human rights law violations. In 2021, Human Rights Watch accused Israel of carrying out on apartheid. This accusation was based on the 1998 Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. There are three requirements for apartheid to apply, which consists of: number one, an intent by one group to dominate the other. Number two, systematic operation by one racial group over another. Number three, one or more inhuman acts. Thus, clearly showing that Israel settlers are indeed carrying out the act of apartheid. It is clear that this is not only a matter of religion, but also a matter of humanity. We must stand against that Israel operations and fight alongside our brothers and sisters of Palestine. Dear brothers and sisters, the World Zakat Forum calls upon all parties, and in particular, World Zakat Forum member countries, to stand together, condemn the massacre by Palestinians by Israel. Israel has killed Palestinian children and women, destroyed buildings, homes, public facilities in the occupied Palestinian land. The World Zakat Forum calls upon the realization of zakat, infak, wakaf, sedekah, and other types of donation to rebuild the country of Palestine. Dear brothers and sisters, today's event in the press conference declaring our stance, which just read by our brother El Nur, against the operations. However, the World Zakat Forum would like all nations to bear in mind that this matter is not limited to the matter of religion, but we stress that this is a matter of humanity and justice. No nation should have to face ethnic cleansing. No nation should face apartheid. No nation should live in fear and suffering. The Israeli settlers fight with force and arms, and in the name of the settlement, we fight in the name of justice, peace, and humanity. The world has turned a blind eye on this matter for too long. Therefore, the World Zakat Forum calls upon all nations to unite and take action on this brutality, to condemn all measures taken by the Israeli settlers. Dear brothers and sisters, Desmond Tutu once said, if you are neutral in situation of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Therefore, we call all nations to no longer stay silent and neutral, but to take action towards this injustice. Let us all forces pray and do our best to fight against the oppressor in the name of justice, in the name of humanity, and in the name of Allah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Zainul Bahar Nur, for your remarkable remarks as response to the situation in Palestine. And I would like to welcome also Sister Yasmina Franke, Deputy Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum, to this press conference session. And now I would like to enter the Q&A session. And I have received several questions that I would like to read, and hopefully the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary General may respond to the question raised by the journalists. The first question is coming from the Bernama News of Malaysia. The question is how far the solution that has been offered by World Zakat Forum as a response to this humanitarian tragedy. Is there any diplomatic efforts to handle and to overcome this problem? Maybe Dr. Zainul can answer the question.
Thank you very much. World Zakat Forum is an organization which has not less than 40 members countries. Each country has its own zakat organization. And the strength of these organizations is not physically then to re-attack Israelis. No, nothing to do with that. That we would like to do something from the collection of zakat from the members countries, and financially would like to help them, our brothers and sisters who are suffering much now by the attacking of the Israelis. So on the other hand, we would like also to participate in all organizations all over the world, again, to condemn Israel and to be together to stop the brutality which is now going on, that's attacking by the Israelis. In other words, I would like to stress in this case that World Zakat Forum will do its best. We'll try to collect zakat infak sadaqah. Besides that, we vow to any organizations all over the world to do the same, to get donations whatsoever, so we can help our brothers and sisters in Palestine, that much of them are not having now a house. They're really suffering from food and also from medicine whatsoever. That is the position of World Zakat Forum at this present moment, Brother Irfan.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to add also that we in the World Zakat Forum also encourage our respective government, especially the foreign ministry, to do its best effort diplomatically to solve the problem. The second question is coming from Gatra of Indonesia. Is there any special lobby or agreement with other global philanthropic institutions to stop this humanitarian tragedy that is taking place in Palestine? And can you explain about this? Dr. Zainul, is it clear the question?
Would you repeat again, Brother Irfan?
Is there any special lobby or special agreement with other global philanthropic institutions to end this tragedy that is taking place in Palestine?
Yes, thanks a lot. That's the steps that we are going to take. That in the next meeting of the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary Generals of World Zakat Forum, we'll discuss about that, and we'll try to contact other organizations, philanthropic organizations all over the world, but specifically in particularly in the members countries of World Zakat Forum. Then we have also to try our best to ask all of that organizations then to donate to the brother and sisters in Palestine now. Yes, that's the answer, Brother Irfan.
Yeah, thank you very much. Perhaps Dr. Elnur or Sister Yasmina or Brother Lawal would like to add some answer to this question before we move to other question.
Yes, if I may, Dr. Irfan.
Yes, please, Dr. Elnur.
Thank you to Secretary General Dr. Zainul Bahar Noor for his insightful thoughts and information about activities of World Zakat Forum. This situation in Palestine and some other emergency situation recently that has been in Syria, in Rohingya crisis, in Yemen, also some other parts in the Muslim world, shows that Muslim organizations such as and global Muslim organizations such as World Zakat Forum and others, including also some philanthropy organization on the national level, should to collaborate much more and to establish successful and long-lasting collaboration. And we already in previous meetings of World Zakat Forum, we already discussed about the idea of establishing a global platform for collaboration. And we believe, inshallah, soon in our next meetings, we will make certain concrete steps and conclusions for the establishment of the global platform. This could be Global Zakat Fund or Global Philanthropy, Muslim Philanthropy Fund. But this we need the global Muslim platform for emergency situations to be able to provide emergency help and support in short term and let's say first help and first support very quickly, such as this situation in Palestine. And we believe, inshallah, we will soon have some kind of global platform that will be led by the World Zakat Forum. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Elnur. And let us move now to the other question from Anadolu Agency of Turkey. Can you explain about the strategy of the World Zakat Forum involving all member countries in order to support the Palestinians in this conflict? And can you elaborate more on this important role that has been played, and what should be the sustainable solution to prevent future event to happen? Dr. Zainul?
Well, as I mentioned before, that World Zakat Forum will do its best. We are going also to contact the diplomatical missions of any countries, especially the members countries of World Zakat Forum. That's I think the thing that we have to do, Irfan.
Okay, thank you very much. Any additional comment from Dr. Elnur or Sister Yasmina, maybe? No comment?
I agree with the Secretary General. First, and also we should to add that this situation in Palestine, it is something that is we know more than 70 years. Palestinians suffering, and this is unfortunately from time to time Muslim communities, Muslim nations gathering and discussing about the situation in Palestine. And it is not, we cannot solve it, but some providing some aid, support, emergency support. This is something that first of all should be resolved by the diplomatic measures undertaking by the and greater pressure and unity of Muslim nations, and one joint call for the salvation of the Palestinian issue, and to finally have the peace in the holy land in the Palestine. And this is something that we can and we should support. We should provide the philanthropic aid and the emergency aid to the Palestinians, but in the first instance we should to work together to provide greater pressure on the Israel, and to show them that these actions will produce more anger and will produce at the end it could be much greater conflict than it is now. But and nobody wants to that to happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Sister Yasmina, you would like to add?
Yes, just to add that, you know, from the point of view of what the World Zakat Forum strategy is, our response is a humanitarian response because we know of the suffering on the ground. And the point was already made that we had started the discussion around a central fund, and inshallah we will continue those discussions because that would be a useful enabler for us to do immediate humanitarian responses. But to the point that Dr. Al-Noor just mentioned now is to say that, you know, what we can do as member countries is to put that pressure and create that awareness in our respective countries. And I speak specifically because of our experience here in South Africa and what we went through and how it helped in the time that we were fighting apartheid, how it helped when other countries was adding their voice to our struggles, and how that voice became stronger and louder, and it then became something that helped trigger change. So I think that is also an important role to play, is to add our disdain to what is happening, and which we will do in writing. But for now, our response as the World Zakat Forum is a humanitarian one, inshallah, and we make dua that the diplomats are able to find a way to get to some resolution, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sister Yasmina, for your remark. And since the time is limited, some questions are still here from some journalists. Let me read some questions that may have not been answered by the Secretary General or Deputy Secretary General. From Indopost of Indonesia, how much she asked about the humanitarian assistance that has been delivered by World Zakat Forum or World Zakat Forum member countries or member institutions. Is there any specific campaign to raise the fund to help the Palestinians? And so far, how much that has been sent to our Palestinian brothers and sisters? Dr. Zainu?
Right. Thanks so much. To be honest, that up to the present moment, the World Zakat Forum has not been really giving any funds to the Palestinian refugees and to the situations that they are facing now. But very soon, then we'll try to collect zakat from the member of the World Zakat Forum countries. And that's the way to assist them financially. We are really having some facilities to do so, but the time should be really done in very carefully, and we'll discuss it in next meeting. We cannot say now how much money that we can give to the Palestinian in the case that they are really facing now. That's it.
Yeah, but the individual member countries, individual member countries, the World Zakat Forum has conducted the fundraising, and perhaps Brother Lawal and also Sister Yasmina may explain about the campaign to raise the fund to help our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Also, Dr. Elno. Yes, Sister Yasmina first.
Yes, so in South Africa, Alhamdulillah, we have mobilized our Muslim community because we are a majority non-Muslim. So the Muslim community is very supportive of the Palestinian cause. Our president has also put out a statement in terms of the South African government's view of this and condemning what is happening in Israel. So it makes the environment a lot easier for us to make an appeal for funding to go to Palestine. And that appeal is happening. We have many of our Zakah organizations currently collecting. Because the situation is quite fluid at the moment, we haven't yet established a means of consolidating the number, but that is something we certainly can do if we look to maybe in the next weeks to come to do a consolidation of what the South African effort has been. But absolutely, individual countries are doing their bit to aid as individual countries, but with the idea that our zakah, our sadaqah, in fact, can certainly make a difference. So from our side, our environment is a lot more favorable to assistance to go to the Palestinian cause because the Muslims have mobilized here and a lot of awareness have been raised, but also because of our own history and our own experience in our apartheid state.
Okay, thank you very much. And Brother Lawal, do you want to add some comments?
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I must first of all thank the Secretariat of the World Zakat Forum for organizing this press conference. I salute the courage of the Executive Secretary and also the Secretary General and members of the Deputy Secretary General who has been able to participate. And it is indeed timely, and we may have to take a decision on the kind of funds to be, raised, because first of all, I remember I had the opportunity of listening part of the youth discussion this morning, and I'm still not very clear on the statement made by Brother Azim Kidwi as to these people. They are not asking for charity. What they are asking, there are other means of support which actually they need to be supported. And then if this is very clear now, that maybe they don't need charity, that what he has found from Gaza is what they require now. I think we should work towards that. That is to raise funds based on the needs assessment of our distinguished brothers and sisters in Palestine. Then the second aspect is the methodology, or how are you going to give whatever it is? Because the Israeli forces may not allow any assistance to get there. Then how do we intend to really get it down there? Are there windows through Egypt or through Syria or through any other place where these people could be given this assistance? I think that has to be, considered very urgently. Then the third issue, I think, which is now number one, which the South African are doing, which you are also doing, which all other concerned distinguished brothers, Muslim and non-Muslims, are doing all over the world, is now to create information. What happened in 1949, there were no social media, there were no digital, etc. Today there are. So if Brother Al-Nur and all other brothers who have spoken, especially the last one, Sister Smina Franca, with respect to the importance of creating awareness and for everyone all over the world to speak out, as the President of South Africa have spoken, and many other presidents, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, and now today we have the statement from the World Zakat Forum. I think that is what we need to use the present social media platforms and create awareness all over the world of the injustice and the massacre that is going on, and also the double standard of the so-called superpowers of the world. On the other hand, they talk about human rights, they talk about child rights, they talk about women rights, they talk about XYZ. But today, this is the genocide that is happening. If it were to happen being done by a Muslim or committed by Muslims, by today, every other media is speaking about this injustice. But this is what they have done in Bosnia. This is what they are doing in Palestine. So I think we have to raise up and speak with one voice. And I believe this time around, if our voice come together and with the blessings of Allah, I think our force is going to be more stronger than ever before. And then I also don't want to speak on this forum about some political issues, but if we can achieve this now at World Zakat Forum, creating awareness, like now, I've spoken to our secretary, brother, Dr. Aliyu Afayeb. We are meeting with the ASWANs, that is all the Zakat institution in Nigeria, through the Zoom. And we are going to meet with all the West African Zakat and the Zoom. Already some Islamic organizations like the Murik, which I have shared in the platform, have issued a statement of the issue. And that's how we are going to now do from now to the next 5 days. Inshallah, we are going to sensitize all to really speak out. Now we wait for further directs from you on fundraising. If you agreed on based on need assessment, this is a funds need to be done, to be raised, then we will look at it and then sensitize everyone and call on everyone to contribute. And then that is left in the hands of Allah of what we can be able to generate and where do we channel it to. I think that is the two things I think we are going to do now and wait for your further directed on the subject matter. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawal, for your remarks. And before we close this press conference, I would like to give an opportunity to the journalists who are now present, who are now in this Zoom platform, to raise the question directly to the Secretary General or Deputy Secretary General of the World Zakat Forum. Any journalists from the Zoom platform that would like to ask the question directly? Okay, I think no, because all the questions have been sent to me and I have raised all the questions. And before we end this press conference, I would like to call once again Dr. Zainul Bahar Nur to state his closing remark.
Thank you very much, Irfan. Even though that we have only a couple of minutes to discuss about the Palestinian situation right now, but I think it's good for us that by having this press conference, the awareness of ours to try to do something for our Palestinian brothers and sisters is really becoming greater and greater. In the case of World Zakat Forum, as an organization, global organizations, that we have 40 members countries. We collaborate with each country. We are going to do it. The worst situations in Palestine of what that we are seeing, and we know very much from all the media just in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So this is time then to strengthen the relationship between the World Zakat Forum and each member countries. Like Indonesia, for instance, that World Zakat Forum will collaborate with BAZNAS. We are going to have a specific campaign later on. We know that so many organizations doing the same, but it doesn't mean that we can not do that. We can do it, of course, yes. And we would like to discuss further in the next meeting of Secretary General and Deputy Secretary General about the concept, the systems that we want to do, how to collect zakat, and we learn much from our members countries, like from Bosnia, like from Nigeria, Sokoto, for instance, how then we collect zakat and how then we get so many donations just to help our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We condemn so much of what Israel is doing now, and we are really going very hard to the United Nations and to United Nations Security Council and to OIC countries, then for them to work hand on hand and to discuss seriously about what we can do together to stop the situations that is becoming worse and worse in that part of the world. Lastly, I would like to appreciate very much for our international and national journalist friends. Thanks for your questions. Probably that you are not satisfied by the answers given by us, but we'll do have another press conference after we are really successfully collecting the funds and then sending it through World Zakat Forum to the proper organizations in Palestine. Thanks so much for tonight. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks also for the beauty reserves who are present tonight. Brother Lawal, Sister Yasmin, and Brother Elnur. Thanks for Executive Secretary. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for your closing remark, Dr. Zainul Bahar Nur. And inshallah, what has been explained by the Secretary General and all deputies of the Secretary General are explaining about the position of the World Zakat Forum. And as a member of international community, we are also trying our best to provide assistance to our brothers and sisters in Palestine, and we'll do everything that we can to help them and to end this aggression of the Israeli government towards the Palestinian. Thank you very much to all the journalists that already present in our press conference today. So hopefully you can share the message that has been delivered by the World Zakat Forum to the global community, so that they know that the Palestinians are not alone, that we stand with them. By that, I end this press conference. Thank you very much once again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Thank you, Brother Nur. Thank you, Brother Lawal. I would like to
Isak tangis keluarga, hancurnya kota dialami masyarakat Palestina. Mari bersama membasuh luka